Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. It's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Kiss him goodbye, Travis Benjamin. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Nifty running by Barkley there on first down. He scoots forward for 7 yards, sets him up nicely, 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Bridgewater. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Throwing, Bridgewater. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Malik Jackson, the 6'5" D tackle with a sack. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. The throw over the middle taken in, and he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. A 1st down carry for Barkley, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That result, really no surprise. That's what we're becoming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And Tate's got it. And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. Golden Tate, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw, it's Wentz. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. The 30, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Eagles have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this 1st quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted, and now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now Saquon Barkley, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Wentz almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Going to look deep for Jeffrey. And got his man complete. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try again with Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterback...
This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well,
else. And maybe you try and find from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and that'll make it 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And Ingram holds it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Bridgewater. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. Incomplete. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Here's Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A look at Sterling Shepard as he and this offense get set to go again. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The intended target, Saquon. Here. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Dwayne Haskins leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Nick Chubb with 2 touchdowns thus far. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. Michael Thomas, a touchdown reception. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Bridgewater. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Bridgewater to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now Benjamin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving what he's giving them. Of course, the yardage is terrific, but I think it's what you mentioned, the 2 touchdowns. That's the big one because he's paying off his results downfield.
Yeah, and still more time here. 3rd quarter, we'll see what else he has in store for us. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And, you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the gun, Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a pass dropped off here for James White. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic, faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when he snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
Did the same. It smelled terrible.
Get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Bridgewater on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. He's got his man. This is Tate. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Bridgewater now. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Giants on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Wentz now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Running with Howard. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Howard. He won't go down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before.
After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Hey, ready? 5:51. Go, go, go.
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 2nd and 7, Bridgewater gets this out to Saquon Barkley. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's tight end out on the right side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 39.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To the air again with Bridgewater. He completes it to Tate. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. The 40, 30, 10, And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Evan Ingram works his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. So after he looked really good early, they haven't been able to find the big tight end as much. What gives?
Well, sometimes that's not in the game plan defensively. They're trying to take away other people, or they weren't expecting him to get off to such a hot start. But now, they know he's out there. They've made a few adjustments, surrounded with a few more people, a few different coverages. Let's see if he makes the adjustments now. Does he change up a few things to try and work his way open?
First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
One last shot now for Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Eagles, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Giants, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.